Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? I'm gonna wait and see if somebody comes in. Again, this is just a pop-up live. I am using various devices trying to find out which one I really like. So this is it. I'm using my laptop. I'm having a few issues with it, but I'm on here. It is Frugal Friday, and I wanted to just say something. I wanted to say welcome if you come in now or later on. During the replay. I hope that you have a good day. And I'm just going to talk to you a little bit today about just a little bit about what I do as just part of my everyday life to be frugal. And I never really thought it was frugal, it was never a thing. But frugal is is the way to do things now. So when people say I'm frugal, I don't get offended anymore. I used to think that it meant cheap. It doesn't mean cheap. Frugal is not cheap. So, what are some things that I do to stay frugal? Well, I try not to waste anything. I mean, I don't go dumpster diving. I don't pick through trash and stuff like that. I mean, just in my everyday life, I try not to waste anything. An example would be, and this is a no-brainer, old towels become cleaning rags. I find that they're more durable and it's better than using a ton of paper towel. I tend to like the expensive paper towel because I find that you use less of it. Um, so I'll use that for like the bathroom floor and cleaning the bathroom, like the sink and everything, and then I just throw it away. Anything else, I like to use cloth cleaning rags, and I make them. Just cut up towels, and I like to keep a bunch of them. I keep one on my counter. I like to wipe down the counter and the table periodically throughout the day. So that's one way. Another way, another no-brainer is shut the water off when you're brushing your teeth. Yeah, yep, that can waste a lot of water. Another thing is I try not to waste food. Last week I kind of disappointed myself and I threw away a couple of meals that I made and stayed in the refrigerator for way too long and they never got eaten, never even touched. And it went from the pantry to the stove to the refrigerator to the trash. And I was very disappointed in myself. So that doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it really bothers me. Another way I try to stay frugal in my everyday life, I don't spend a lot of extra money on things. So long as I got a nice coffee mug, is my Golden Girls cup. I have a couple other regular ceramic mugs that I like. I never buy a coffee. I always make my own coffee. I can't see paying, let's see, even if you went to Dunkin' Donuts, was it $2, $3? I don't even know anymore because it's been years since I bought a coffee. But I don't pay for coffee unless I'm in a restaurant, which is usually with my date, and he flips the bill, and I might order a coffee or something or an iced coffee. That's something different, but daily I make my own coffee. I make my own iced coffee in the summer. I just make a larger part of coffee. I like to do it on top of my stove, and then I just pour it in a container and I leave it in the refrigerator. And whenever I want iced coffee, I got it. I don't have to. I don't have to buy a coffee. I can't see buying that. As far as food, make basically everything from scratch. Sometimes I do use some store-bought canned items if I'm doing a quick meal or something, and I do have some that I want to use up. So yeah, I'm going to incorporate those into uh, my meals whenever possible. When I shop, I buy the lost leaders. I try to, unless it's something I really need and or really want. And even then, I kind of hold off until it's as cheap as I think it's gonna be, and then I'll purchase it. Hi, Lisa. When they don't have to work and they bring them. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Yeah, well, I don't like personally, I do not like like Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks and Honeydew. I don't like their coffee. One place that has phenomenal coffee, and they don't have iced coffee, they only have hot coffee, is the place, we call in Rhode Island, we call it the weenie joint, okay? I guess they're like Coney Island, hot dogs, but they've been open since the 30s in the same spot. You can go up to the window and order, you can stand on the sidewalk like you're in a hot dog line, or you could go in and sit at these real nasty booths and look at the empty spot where there used to be a jukebox. I remember going there as a little kid. My father would give us all a nickel or something to play something in the jukebox while we were waiting. But they put the hot dogs on their arm and they're, fixing them and everything. They have the absolute best hot coffee I have ever had. It's better than homemade. I don't know what it is. Here, everybody likes to go to the Winnie joint, which the official name is called New York System, and they like to go there and have coffee milk with we call them weenies, with their hot weenies, and it's okay. It's a good combination. Coffee milk is a Rhode Island thing, um, but I like the hot coffee with it for some reason, and they make real good cheeseburgers too. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. They're almost. I think they're over $3, and the hot dogs are like this. I mean, they're like really, really tiny, but they're just so good. So if you get a craving, you know, they're good. But anyway, that's the only coffee I like that I don't make myself. Okay. So I don't buy coffee. I try to use up everything I can in the kitchen. I got into the habit. I guess it was maybe just before 2020. I took care of my mom, as long as a lot of you know, it wasn't easy for me to always get out because I'd have to get someone to stay with her. Um, but I just started making more things from scratch so that I wouldn't have to run out. And I'm really proud of some of those skills I learned. Just simple things like saving your stale bread for breadcrumbs. And then I said, hey, you know what? That's one less thing I have to run to the store for. Then it became, hey, that's one more less thing I have to pay for. So the frugality just kind of is just, I think it's a benefit to being creative and just doing things from scratch. That's what I think. I think that frugality is a byproduct of doing things yourself. That's how I see it. Other ways that I try to stay frugal is I do get my hair cut every 8 weeks or so. 6 to 8 weeks, my hair grows like crazy. It's not even 6 weeks, and I have to go back. But I do go to one particular person. She does a phenomenal job. She's been doing my hair for 30 years, and I'm not changing hairstylists. I really like her. I tip her well. I color my own hair. There was a time when I was getting my highlights a couple years ago and everything. It's expensive to keep up. They're like $11 a highlight, and I just think that that's a lot of money. And I don't want to pay someone to color my whole head the same color that the Lord gave me for free. So, with my CVS Extra Care bucks, my coupons, and their sales, I buy L'Oreal. No, not L'Oreal, Clairol. I'm sorry. Clairol, I don't know, gray something. And I just color it with that. So, that's what I do. I do my own nails. I do my own pedis. I cannot cut my own hair. I'm not going to try. I tried that during the lockdown, and I mean, my bangs ended up to here. So, yeah, we couldn't wait for her to open. Um, what else do I do myself? I used to sew a lot of my own skirts and things when I was going to church more. But since 2020, I haven't really sewn that much because everybody, the churches were closed and everything. And shame on me, I started worshiping more at home. And I got in that rut, but I need to get out of that rut and get back to church, which means I'm going to be making some more clothes. I like to wear skirts a lot. I like to wear them, especially in the summer. They're very cool, very comfortable. And I have some fabric. I did a video yesterday that I'm going to be making just some straight skirts. Um, just some basic colors so I can put different things with it. Yes, I make my own bread. And I have a video. Um, it's no knead Dutch oven bread. And when I made it a couple weeks ago, I added to it, I put in some oregano, some parsley, garlic powder, black pepper. I don't know what else I put into it. And I put it right into the dough, and then the bread was just flavored tremendously. When everybody else was going crazy in the fall and winter with the price of bread and they can't find what they want, and I don't like going out in the winter. Every night I'd make a batch of this dough, or every other night, and I would have it the next day. I'd bake it in the morning and have it that day and that night. Let the dough rise overnight. Is it economical? Yes. I'm not using gas in my car. I'm not tempted to buy things, impulse buying, and it tastes so much better. So I need to get a good recipe for, just like white sliced American bread. Um, I do want to start making some Middle Eastern breads instead of buying them. They are so simple, and those I buy, and I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But mostly, I cook from scratch. So I don't buy myself a lot of clothes, and when I do, it's gonna be something that has to really pop out at me. I don't know what it is lately. There is not one item of clothing in any store that I really like. And if I really like it, the price is like it's like hundreds of dollars, and I can't justify buying it because I don't go anywhere. I don't work so outside the home, so I can't, say, well, I'm going to wear it to work every day. Um, you know, I have dresses, I have skirts, I have tops. I'm lacking in some summer shoes, so I might be getting those. But I do miss Payless because that's where I used to get a lot of my shoes. Excuse me, I'm still trying to wake up. This is my morning coffee. I got up late, and I'm still still trying to wake up. What else do I do to stay frugal? I watch the bills. The first thing I did was call every single utility company that was the gas, the electric, the telephone and internet and cable. It was like all combined. I called the water, the sewer, homeowners insurance, car insurance, and I shopped around and I begged, pleaded, and made a fool of myself, but I got all my bills down. In addition to getting the bills down, I also got my usage way, way down. I am on a budget plan with my gas company, and I used so little gas this winter. And I'm going to tell you how I did it in a minute. But the original budget, they go by what you used last year. They use it as an estimate. If you use more, your bill, when they renew it in 6 months, your bill will go up. If you use less than you did a year prior, your bill will go down. So I used so much less gas that my bill went from uh, $97 to 64. So that means I started my $64 a month gas bill. Now that's for heat and hot water. I started it in April. So now they're going to renew it again in, I think, October. Yeah, October. Common sense. I'm not going to be using a lot of heat all summer. So now the gas bill for the winter, for the next 6 months, from October to March or April, is going to probably drop even more. What I did was I didn't make the house hot. Okay, I didn't overheat my home. Um, yeah, I wore a sweatshirt around the house a lot, like a hooded sweatshirt. But I have a working fireplace. That was the focal point and the reason my parents bought my home in the 60s. Um, and that fireplace had kept us warm plenty of times when the power went out and the furnace wouldn't ignite, and we had trouble with we used to have oil heat, and so just things like that, and we always had it as a backup. So what I did was this year I made a vow that the heat was not going on before November 1st, and we had a very very cold October. And I would get up in the morning. A lot of times I'd have the fireplace ready the night before, and I would just light it up and just use the fireplace in the living room. And I could actually see the temperature going up at least 4 degrees. If I was and sometimes I would not light the fireplace, and I would uh, light the oven in the kitchen, open the door, and the heat would circulate, and then it was really comfortable. Um, Sometimes I do both, depended, but I really tried not to put the heat on more than 64. Okay, 62 was like the norm for me. I don't know why, but my house gets warm, so at 62, it can bring the heat up to 68 in here. So, 62 was pretty good. At night, it went down to 60 on the lower level, and the upper level at night to sleep, I would put it on 62 or 60. It'd get really hot, and then I'd have to lower it. So, and I had an electric blanket. But I mean, I don't use a whole lot of electricity. Um, Now my so that's gonna the gas bill, the electricity also went down to $64. No, the gas went from 120. I'm sorry. Gas went from 120 to 86. Electric went from 97 to 64. I made a huge error in what I just said. I apologize. But the idea is to call these companies and see what they have to offer. So this summer, when everyone else got the air conditioners going and the electric bills are going to be through the roof, I'm going to be paying $64 a month. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're not home or if you're outdoors, you don't need the air conditioner on. You don't need ceiling fans on if you're not in the room. Leaving a ceiling fan on when you are not in the room is such a big waste of electricity because it does nothing. When you're there, it's cooling, it cools you off, it works. But if you're not in that room, shut that ceiling fan off. Um, Another way is entertainment. I'm very easily entertained. It's either YouTube. I have some shows that I like to watch on TV, mainly, I guess you're gonna guess. I love the Golden Girls. I like Everyone Loves Raymond. I like Young and the Restless. Bold and the Beautiful, not so much anymore. I like to garden, and I like to sit outside, and I like my word search puzzles. I'm very low key. I do have outdoor activities I like out of the house, like going to the beach, going fishing, things that don't cost any money or very little. As far as gasoline goes for the car, I fill up maybe every 2 months. Again, I don't drive anywhere. I don't go anywhere, but I like to keep my gas tank on full. So I managed to get all my bills down, and between getting them down and cutting down the usage, it's working out real well. So that's how I stay frugal. Another thing I have to admit is my phone bill really aggravated me. I hated paying that cell phone bill. I have a landline and I'm not giving it up. Period. It's just not going to happen. I was paying $30 a month, and every month I kept saying, I'm going to switch over to Mint. I'm going to get Mint. I'm going to get just emergency minutes for my cell, leave it in the car, whatever. And I never did until 2 weeks ago when my smartphone died. And I called Metro to try to see if they could help me switch that number over to a flip phone that I have. And they said, well, we can only do it if you call from your Metro phone because we have to send you a one-time security pin. I'm like, but the phone is broke. I was calling them from my landline. So that didn't work. So I got my flip phone. I went over to T-Mobile and I remembered that they have a plan. You can get this two options that I'm not paying more than what I'm paying now. One option is unlimited talk and text with, I think, 1 gig. I don't even know, of data for $10 a month. Or unlimited talk and text with I don't know how much gig for $15 a month. So I tried the $10 a month one, and I was kind of like watching my minutes, and I don't want to get nervous and stressed out about it. So I bumped it up to the 15 a month. And it's flexible. You can go up 1 month, you can go down a month. Do I like my flip phone? I like it in the fact that I could charge it and it stays fully charged for days. I don't like using it when it's time to text. I just don't like texting on that phone. I also don't like it because I can't do pop-up videos on it. I mean, I guess I could, but it's just so complicated. Um, but had that phone not broken, I probably would have still been paying $30 a month to make YouTube videos, which is ridiculous. I don't get paid for YouTube. I do it for fun. I do it as a hobby. It keeps me busy. It keeps me focused. It keeps me engaged. Um, and I don't want to have to pay to do that. So I don't know. As far as gardening goes, the only money I really have to spend this year is on potting soil because I need to do more of a container garden this year because it's getting really difficult for me to get down and weed the garden and things just seem to grow better in containers and animals don't get at it as much and it's just easier. So I will be buying some potting soil, but I have a cousin who dropped off a bunch of empty pots. I've been collecting containers and planting pots for a couple of years, and I have my seeds, and everything in my garden is grown from seed, so I didn't have to go out and buy starts. The exception being, it was in the 20s for the last couple of nights. Even though I covered them, my tomatoes, I don't think they're going to survive. It is my fault. I started them from seed, I nurtured them, and then I got so anxious to put them outside. I usually put them out Memorial Day weekend, and I put them out on Mother's Day. And I shouldn't have done that. That was a big mistake. So I'm going to try growing them again from seed and put them out maybe in June. Who knows? And I might, if they really don't look like they're going to make it, I'm going to have to go buy some starts. I'm not very happy about it. Lesson learned. So that's how I stay frugal. And like I said, I really think that frugality is a byproduct of doing things yourself, doing as much as you can yourself. Instead of relying on other resources and outside resources, try to do it yourself. So I am going to wrap this up. It was a live. Elisa, thank you so much for coming and for commenting. It's always nice to see you. Thank you so much. There was somebody else in here before. I don't know who they were, but thank you very much for coming. And I am going to go, for now, I got to go check out my garden and see what's going on. So, folks, stay frugal, stay prepped, and stay prepped.